The other day, on one of the cigar forums, they were talking about cheaper ways to keep your cigars moist and, in your humidor. And I have one I've been using for years. And I used to buy these little tubes at, cigar shops. They're just a little plastic tube with a little blue cap, and it had these crystals in it, hydration crystals. Well, what I have is plastic salt shaker, a product called Soil Moist. I don't know if you can read that. It's used in what I do for a living, which is landscaping. It's used in areas you can't really water enough and you need your plants not to die. And it works for about, a few months in nature if you're using it in the soil. But if you're using it for this, it'll last a couple of years. So you take your crystal, you put it in here. You can do a third, you can do less. It depends on how much moisture you want each crystal to absorb. So I use about a third of the way up. Take some water. Fill it to about, the threads. And over a few minutes, this stuff starts to expand. It's already expanding. It's about twice its size already. You can kind of watch it getting bigger. Then put it in your humidor, and you've got a really inexpensive way to make tons of these humidification, tubes. In fact, I thought about just making a bunch of them and selling them already made. All it is water, crystals, and a container. I use these so that when I'm filling them up, they don't get, lost. And they work fine on their side. I do it just like you would do the ones you buy. You're supposed to lay them on their side. I put them in the bottom of my humidor, and I still have the little, golden colored hockey puck ones that are in the top, which, they're several years old now, and I don't know how well they're working, but you can see it's only been about a minute and a half, and it's almost completely absorbed the water. Now these are good, much bigger if you want them to. If you want to, I like to use extra crystal because eventually the crystals kind of dissipate. And so if you fill them up about a third of the way, or at least a quarter, what you end up with is something that lasts you for several years. Eventually they all completely go away. But, that takes a long time. I used them for pipe tobacco as well. It's about done now. I don't know if you can tell. If you look at the top, it's almost completely jellied. You can kind of see it. Maybe I'll just tilt it here. You can put, inside it's just jelly now. So it's pretty much ready to go. It's just a little bit of water left. And that's, we're at 3 minutes and a half, and for the price of Soil Moist, you can make these things. You can lay them in your humidor. They work great. Somebody was talking about using kitty litter the other day, and that sounds a little odd to me, but I'm sure it's still silica, so it still works. I'm not exactly sure what the ingredients in this particular one is, or are, or something like that. But it's this brand comes in a big bag. You can make probably 100 of these if you wanted. I would say just buy one bag and get any friends to let you make their soil moist version of the humidor crystals. Now it's completely gelled, and this will hydrate your stuff for months, and you don't have to fill them that often. I used one for some pipe tobacco, and I don't really smoke a pipe, but I had some nice pipe tobacco given to me, and a nice pipe, and I didn't want it to go bad, so I've had that same bag of tobacco for 5 or 6 years, 7 years maybe, and this is almost my second one of these that I've done, because the first one eventually dried up to the point when they dry up. Eventually, they get less and less of it there. So, anyway, it works great. Thanks for watching if you did, and have a nice day.